Hey guys, welcome back to Margo Watches Movies. My name is Jake Margo, and tonight I am enthralled to be bringing you a review for a film that has just come out. I just got out of the theater about an hour ago. You already know from the title of the video, we're talking about 28 years later. This is a film directed by Danny Boyle, written by Alex Garland, starring Alfie Williams, remember that name, Aaron Taylor Johnson, the legendary Ray Fiennes, and Jodie Comer. You know her from The Last Duel. This film is an experience. Let's get right to it. I don't want to be coy. The hype is worth it. Go see this film in theaters. You will, at the very least, have something to say about the ingenuity, the originality. And we're talking about the third movie in a franchise, by the way, but what they're able to accomplish with the filmmaking technique, the editing. God, the editing in this movie is insane. The way they mine tension and horror from these quick, choppy cuts, not in the Paul Greengrass style, but it's in this way that just adds to this claustrophobia at times. And boy, again, what they're able to accomplish in the third film, I believe the sequel was 2007, 28 weeks later, which I reviewed yesterday, along with 28 days later. Both of those reviews will be pinned in the description. But what they're able to accomplish with with an 18-year gap between films. This is the best film in the franchise for me. I have a couple little gripes, very minor. Well, one of them will come down to you, and it might be very divisive, but we'll get into that in a little bit. I want to start off with what blew me away so much about this movie. First off, there is a child performance in this movie. He is the lead of the film. I mentioned his name earlier, Alfie Williams. He gives one of those kid performances that are so extraordinary and rare to find these days. All of the emotional weight of the film, most of, almost every frame of this movie, he's in it. And what he's able to accomplish and what Alex Garland bakes into the script, where you essentially get this coming of age story about a boy becoming a man in this post-apocalyptic hellscape. His journey and the many turns that the script takes. If you've seen the trailer, his father is played by Aaron Taylor Johnson. And you have this great dynamic of father and son. His mother, Jodie Comer, you have a great dynamic of mother and son. And it's this close-knit family element and the separation that they install in that as well that really elevate this movie, along with some jaw-dropping set pieces with some fantastic cinematography. Some of the shots in this movie, which, by the way, this whole film was shot on an iPhone, multiple iPhones. They actually devised a new technology to create this kind of like 180 view where they had 10, 15 iPhones laced around these actors to create these shots. And Danny Boyle intersperses with this frenetic haptic editing style that creates and adds to the tension and claustrophobia. And interspersed in some of these edits are homage, what I took it as, at least, to 28 Days Later, where you go from this crystal clarity to like 480p shots. And it was really cool. I think this is probably the scariest of the three films. And I wouldn't say it's outright horror, but there are a lot of scary moments. And I think there's a lot of levity, meaning shockingly funny moments. Maybe some people might find that to the detriment because they really like commit to humor in this film, and it's not Marvel. It's not a joke a minute. I thought maybe they could have cut back on one or two jokes. Not really jokes, but like witty dialogue, right? There's a lot of laughs in my theater. As the plot progresses, I had no idea where the story was going. I really didn't. And it's structured in a unique way where it's kind of hard to pinpoint where like Act 2 ends and Act 3 begins. And by the time the movie ends, I was a little surprised. And I don't know how I feel about it yet, but that may be my one gripe is like the last 60 seconds of this film. And it's very much leading into at least one more movie. I'd presume they're going to go for 3 parts of the story. But wow, this was a ride. This accomplished so much where I think the human drama, if you've watched either of my prior 2 reviews, the human drama and the humanity that defines the first film, along with the spectacle and tension of the second film, you get this beautiful meshing of those 2 concepts. And it just makes for an absolutely spectacular sequel. It really does. This was such an experience, and I'm sorry to be repetitive, but there's parts of this movie where I'm watching it going like, what is this? And it's not in the tone I just conveyed, but it's like, wow. Danny Boyle directs his ass off in this movie. In a just world, he's getting a Best Director nomination. The screenplay by Alex Garland is sharp. There's not plot holes. There's no contrivances. Even what you could call a stupid choice by a character is organic, and it's understandable why the character wants to do this. I thought the performances all around were excellent, but again, let's spotlight Alfie Williams, who gives a jaw-dropping kid performance. But Aaron Taylor-Johnson kills it. Ray Fiennes kills it. Jodie Comer has a lot to juggle in this film. She has to display wide ranges. She has a very challenging role, and I don't know why she hasn't gotten more roles since The Last Duel. She was also in Free Guy, that Ryan Reynolds movie where he's in the video game. But she is phenomenal in this movie. But Alfie, my lord, you have like that Jacob Tremblay level of holy cow. And if you're not familiar with him, he's the kid from The Room and Doctor Strange. Doctor Who? Doctor Sleep. Doctor Sleep with Ewan McGregor, the sequel to The Shining. So, all in all, this movie blew me away. I still don't know how I feel about the final 60 seconds to 120 seconds where it almost felt like people walked off the set of a Jimmy Savile video. And if you know who Jimmy Savile is, I don't know if they were going for that, but it felt like a mashup of Kill Bill from Tarantino and, for some reason, Jimmy Savile, which is probably a sign that the sequel to this film is going to have some characters in a bad spot. So, run to the theaters. Go see this movie. The first act is breathtaking. I will say I don't think this prologue reaches the heights of 28 Weeks Later. I think it's a better prologue than 28 Days Later, maybe, but it's a little underwhelming. But how they tie it together full circle towards the end makes a lot of sense. The prologue was a little underwhelming for me. But once that prologue ends and we get the title card, like we've gotten in every movie, and we get introduced to the world and the world building and really setting us back in this world we've been out of for so long. You were immediately drawn in. And again, Danny Boyle, my God, that guy can direct. I wish he'd gotten to do the last Bond film, but he dropped out over creative differences. But he directs his ass off. This film is badass. It goes hard. Whatever terms you want to throw out, this movie is it. And I really have to say, I kind of liked it more than Sinners. I did. I think this might be the best movie I've seen all year. I really do. I think this might be the best film I've seen all year. And at the very least, it's such an experience that even if you don't like it to the level I'm liking it, you're going to get something out of this because there's going to be shit in this film you haven't seen before. So, yeah, I mean, I don't want to go there. Do I go there on my rating? I'm torn, guys. I'm torn between calling this a must-see Jim and an all-time classic. I can't call it an all-time classic after one viewing, can I? Fuck it. 28 years later is an all-time classic. This movie was so badass. This is one of the most, like, just, you get those moments. I don't think it's better than Dune 2, but you get those moments like you got watching Dune 2 where it's just like, holy cow, what am I watching? So yeah, on the low end, and I'll have that rating scale attached in the description. This is on the low end of all-time classic. 28 years later. What a film. What a return to form. I am so freaking pumped for future installments. Alfie is a superstar. That kid killed it. The script is great. 28 years later, all-time classic. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. Give me a like, give me a subscribe. Come on, guys. I'm trying to grow this channel, and I really appreciate it. I really appreciate the people who have been supporting me. It's a small channel, but every single view counts, every like counts, every comment counts, and I really appreciate you guys who keep tuning in. So this is Margot Watches Movies. This cute guy is Hamilton. He's excited for it too. I'm Jake Margot. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you next time.